This is In Touch with Terry, a power-packed podcast for the medical aesthetics industry.
I just discovered your podcast, and I feel like I've hit a gold mine.
This is someone who's got a lot of knowledge. She's been there, done that.
Terry Ross is a former Fortune 500 executive, international speaker, founder and co-CEO of Apex Platform, and Terry Ross Consulting.
Just listening to her energy and her passion and just how hardcore she is.
Her knowledge of the industry and just her connections in general are phenomenal.
In Touch with Terry will bring you solutions to increase operational and employee efficiency and practice profitability. Plus, features some of the top industry experts as guests.
The Apex team literally changed the game for us.
Terry, your courses and your podcast are just so helpful.
She made me feel like I could do this.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Now, here's Terry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of In Touch with Terry. I want to thank you so much, my tribe, my listeners, for all the love and the support and the feedback that I have received, especially over the last few episodes of the podcast. I couldn't do this without you. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm more importantly grateful for the messages that you sent me about topics and ideas and concepts and strategies that you guys want to hear. So I can't believe it. We are starting Q4. Holy crap. How did that even happen? But Q4 is always the busiest quarter of the year for many reasons. And I know there's been so much talk about a recession and do I think we're going to head into one and what do I think and what am I seeing in aesthetic practices? So I really wanted to dedicate this podcast to preparing your practice for the busy fall, winter, holiday season and give you guys a couple of tips and strategies that will ultimately increase your revenue, but more importantly, set you up for success to finish out this year really strong. And then more importantly, go into next year very prepared. So look, we came off of a great summer, and I'm sure many of you, like myself, had an opportunity to really take the time to travel and be with your kids, maybe even take a vacation and just be present and cherish that time off. I know I was able to do that. It was allowed me to really mentally recharge and reboot. But now that the kids are all back to school, which means kids are back to school, mommies are having more opportunities, women are having opportunities, men are having opportunities to come into your practice and get treatments done that they perhaps didn't do. I know summer's always slow, but now that we're again taking the advantage of the holiday season, we can capitalize on what's to come. So looking at the cooler temperatures, holidays on the horizon, clients are going to be very eager to start coming in and getting procedures that they didn't do in the summer. Obviously, we know what those are. A lot of laser skin resurfacing treatments, microneedling, body contouring, surgeries, and they're going to want to look and feel their best, especially as we go into the holiday season. I know this is nothing that you have not heard of before, but I want to take it from a different perspective, and I really want to dive in and talk about what are the 5 really critical KPIs that you need to know to go into Q4 as you're thinking about setting your specials or your loyalty program or your events. And we're going to talk about 5 KPIs you must know. Okay, again, I said this is preparing your practice for a busy fall, winter, holiday season. How do you prepare your practice? When you know these 5 KPIs, you're going to know what to do. And then 8 additional tips to boost your revenue. So number 1, you must know your staff capacity. What does that mean? I want you to do a check. I want you to go to your practice and I want you to ask yourself, I want you to analyze, what is the current capacity of your team today? How many rooms do you have? How many hours available to sell? How busy are your providers? 30%, 50%, 80%? How busy are they? Because we want to make sure when you know that number, I need you to back into the number and say, okay, well, why are they only 50% busy? Or if they're 70%, that means you have to hire someone else. And so I really want you to leverage your database of information. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the equation for staff capacity. I want you to take the actual number of hours booked divided by the total hours worked. That equals capacity. By the way, you guys, all of this stuff is in our Apex platform, because I know you might have to stop, take a beat, put it on pause, take notes. But that was the number one KPI. How busy is your team today? Because we need to get your books filled. We need to get patients in the door. Number two is, what is your profit per treatment? Look, we cannot start putting together deals and bargains and specials and loyalty programs. In order to do that, so that you don't lose money, you have to understand what the profitability on your treatments and services are, because if you recall, there's no labor cost in there. So we want your gross profit to be well over 50%. I'd like to say, 60 and above for med spa services, and obviously much, much higher for surgery. So when you do that, then you can truly make an informed decision to say, do I want to market this particular treatment or not? I want you to look at your revenue per hour. Revenue per hour is number 3. Now, your profit per treatment is going to roll right into revenue per hour. So once you know what's profitable or not, you can make a decision. And when you're talking about your revenue per hour, what is the productive time? Like, your team, your staff, your providers, what is their productive time in the room? And when you think about revenue per hour, it is taking the total revenue divided by the hours they worked. And that equals revenue per hour. Now, in our Apex platform course, we give you all of these benchmarks. So revenue per hour, right? We've talked about this a lot. I've spent a lot of time educating you guys on the data, but revenue per hour for a non-surgical room should be around 600 to over 1,000. You need to go take a pulse check. Where are your providers today? Because if they're not there, something's wrong. They're taking too long in the room. Maybe your prices are too low, or you're not doing the treatments that are yielding a high enough return on investment. So I need you to coach your team to get to those levels. Now, an esthetician, those numbers should be around 250 to 350, doing like facials and microcurrent peels, things like that. In many states, you can't do medical procedures. So those numbers would fluctuate a little bit. Number 4 is your average cost for new patients. Okay, so what does that mean? How much do you spend to get new clients in the door? Because if your phones are ringing, I hope to God that these patients are being converted, right? It's always this domino effect of training. So how much are you spending to get new patients in the door? So that is, what was the marketing expense divided by the total number of new patients, and that equals your new customer cost. Okay, I'm giving you some golden nuggets right here. And again, we want to make sure that you are not losing money, right? That you're working efficiently and that you're getting the right patients in the door for the right treatments that have and yield a high return on investment and what the market demands. And then number 5 is your global patient conversion rate. So understanding in totality, what are the number of the services that you performed divided by your number of consults, and that equals your conversion rate. And we really, really want that to be well over 70%. And if it's not, again, you guys, we really do have to say, we have to inspect what we expect. So I say this often as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's not about the shiny stuff. We have to really be smart about sustainability. What if we do go into a recession? Are we tracking these 5 KPIs that are going to help you develop what your marketing strategy and your marketing plan is for the Q4 holiday? So I'm going to kind of repeat it back so you have these top 5. We talked about your provider capacity. We talked about profit per treatment, number 2. Revenue per hour, number 3, average cost for patients, number 4, and your global patient conversions. And I just gave you the money shot of the equations that go to that. But again, these are all in our Apex platform. If you don't know, if you want to download, I want you to reach out, DM me as well, or please reach out to our team. So let's dive in to additional strategies and things to think about as you're looking into developing this plan. So we really want to make sure, you guys, that you're looking at, is your equipment and everything working? Do you have everything in check? Do you have your warranties all in check? We want to make sure that that is all up to speed. But the last thing we want is for patients to be booking for something and then it's broken. I know this sounds silly, but this is really, really important. Let's talk about our retail. Retail should be about 20% of your total revenue. Now, I didn't put that into the KPI section because I want us to be thinking about our retail as an opportunity. It's 100% markup. We know that patients within 30 minutes literally drive someplace else to get it. We know that in one of the presentations that I give, over 80% of patients want their providers to educate them on retail. And often we don't, or it's just considered an aftermath. So if you want to have better patient outcomes, if you want to increase your retail sales, and if you want to increase your overall retention of your patient, then retail is the best way, even as it relates to gift boxing for holidays, thinking about how you can enhance your consultation by developing a treatment plan and not giving patients so many choices that they don't make a decision because a confused mind won't buy. But really going back to what kind of consultation do you do? How long is it? Do you really, really take the time to get to know the patient? Because the ability for you guys to ask those key questions, and I teach sort of the top 11 questions you should ask, helps a patient be vulnerable so that you can uncover those needs. And so we talked about equipment, we talked about your retail. Number 3, looking at your marketing efforts. What type of marketing are you doing? Strategic marketing, targeted marketing, your newsletters, your social media, your blogs, your email campaigns, your pay-per-click, your ads. What verticals are you using? Are you analyzing what's converting the most or generating the most leads? But again, this isn't about blanket marketing. This is about using your efforts to promote. See, now that you know what's profitable, you're going to make informed decisions to have a very tight plan that in Q4, you're only making a decision to market the treatments that yield, again, a high ROI and not risking losing money, and for the treatments that people want. And you guys all know this. I know there's cost of goods that are significantly higher for other services. So really, really be strategic. Again, I say there's riches in the niches. Don't give your patients, your clients, too many options. It gets very confusing and then they just won't do anything. I know when I had my place in Beverly Hills, a lot of you do. I've taught a lot about this too, like the 12 days of Christmas. We have to be a little creative, maybe start it after Thanksgiving, where we're running something that is based on this ROI return, but it's giving patients like this sort of anxiety, check your email at 8 a.m., see what's coming up, not 10 things. And then I'm like, oh God, I don't really know which one I want. And then I just don't buy anything. So again, strategic marketing efforts. And that also allows too, them to, be bringing in a friend and opening up the doors for more opportunity there. Branding. Branding is not an aftermath. It's really, really important. I know we're not going to get into this whole logo design and what your website looks like, but this is really your outside. It's your home. It's the outside perception of your brand. And I want you to think about a couple of things. What type of patient does your brand attract? Are you attracting high-end customers? Are you attracting people looking for a bargain deal? And either way, no judgment, right? Whatever business model you have it, but just stay in the lane of what it is and know your avatar and what you want to achieve from your brand, because you'll start to question, why am I not busy enough? Or why am I not getting the patients in the door? Or why aren't they converting? Well, that could be a whole host of things. Again, are you marketing the right thing? Is your messaging the right thing? Is your team trained to convert? When I come in for the consultation, am I doing a treatment plan? We have to back into all the reasons and really say, okay, I understand what's happening or what I'm doing or what I'm not doing, but I'm also willing to take a look at my branding and say, my targeted penetration, if I'm doing it right, should yield a better result, 1, in the conversion, and 2, in the kinds of conversations you have with your patients, because you know that you're bringing in the one, right? It's like you're messaging to one, you talk to many. Okay, number 5 is gift cards. And I know most of us probably have these or offer these, but do you? Like, who's talking about it? Who mentions it? How is it promoted? But gift cards are a fantastic opportunity to give as gifts, get new clients in the door. But the tracking of those gift cards also requires some analysis as well. But excellent opportunity there. Number 6 is your holiday open house. If you like to have these, somebody said to me the other day that they had a party. It was an event for something totally different. And it really just was an event. It turned out like a party. And that's fine. Listen, I'm down for parties. I love them too. But when you hold a holiday open house, there are very strategic things that you have to do. And again, it comes down to the team training, what vendors you're going to have there. Are they getting treatments that day? Are they paying for things that day? What you're going to be offering. And then is everybody recognizing and realizing that it might be an event to educate clients? That's what you're doing. You're going to educate on something, not just come and get free stuff and then leave. But ultimately, you're hosting this event so that you can encourage clients to take advantage of those services that you're offering during this particular time. So that was number 6. Number 7 is maybe you have a VIP event. It's really important. We talk about the 80-20 rule a lot, but do you leverage your really high-end clients? They all have money, they all have friends, they all have family, and we really should understand what the spend is for our high-end clients, how often they come in, who did they refer, what's their average ticket price? Because if you have an event for them exclusively, this can mean significant revenue for you and new patients because they're highly connected, and it's that know, like, and trust factor. Number 7, VIP events. And last but not least, what are your holiday service packages going to be? People ask me, truly, me and the team all the time, like, well, what should I do? What should I promote? How much should I discount? It's not. I wish it was this simple as I could just spit out an answer for you, but it's not. It's like a mathematical equation, and it's looking at the KPIs that we just talked about. It's not just about, I want to just throw these things together because it sort of sounds good. I really am asking you guys, I invite you to be very strategic with this, because then you will make money and not lose money. You will offer things that your clients want, what the market demands, what they need, but where, again, it's driving to the bottom line of your business, and it's looking at what those packages are going to be in totality, and then do they make financial sense? And if they don't, then that's not the right thing. But it, again, allows us this opportunity to investigate, analyze our business. And so those were the 8 other strategic tips for how we can go into Q4, go into this holiday season, and not just do it blindly, and not just do it because we're super excited. And I know we all are, that things are really kind of back to normal now. But what I care about for you, my only goal, my sole always intention, is to always help you look at your practice as a business and give you the tools and the tips and the tricks and the training and the resources and the strategy and the coaching to do it, to not be afraid, right? Again, staying where we are doesn't get us anywhere. And we can't afford to question ourselves and why is something not working? And if there is the why, let's peel back the onion. Okay, let's just get down and dirty. Listen, I had to do it too. I was in your shoes. I totally get it. And if this is you right now, or and you're stuck and you're struggling, I'd love to hear from you always. When I get your messages in my Aesthetics Insights group or on my Terry Ross Consulting Instagram, you have no idea. You guys, you bring tears to my eyes so often. There are really genuinely no words. But when I can start to see you guys changing and making all these movements, it just warms me more than you can know. So as we wrap up this episode of In Touch with Terry, which was, again, all about preparing your practice for the busy fall holiday season, I hope that you found these 5 KPIs and these 8 specific tips and tricks to be beneficial for you. Go back, take a pause, listen to it again. And if this resonated, if you're like, yes, this is me, I don't have a plan, I want to learn what I can do to be better so that you guys are solid to wrap this quarter up, then I definitely invite you, as always, to visit apexplatform.com. You can take our free practice assessment, or just talk to our team and just say, oh my God, I heard this podcast. Always please reference the podcast and share this with a friend. Leave me a DM, leave me a like, leave me a comment. That means more to me than you know, and it helps this podcast grow. So with that being said, I am going to sign off and drop the mic. Love y'all so much, and I'll see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terry. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to In Touch with Terry. We invite you to schedule a discovery call with our Apex team. The link to apexplatform.com can be found in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terry.